Good morning, everybody. It is 10 minutes before 8 o'clock right now. Welcome back to Iowa Live on this Friday, and none too soon for a lot of people. One thing we do love to do around here, we love to find out about Iowa history, learn about Iowa history via the Iowa Almanac. We do that each and every morning with our good friend, Professor Jeff Stein. He is over in Waterloo at 1540 KXEL Radio. Good morning, Professor. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing very well. It's bright, it's clear. Yeah, it's going to rain, it's going to get icy, but it's bright and clear right now.
Yeah, but at the same time, Professor, it's going to be 80 degrees next week.
I'll wait.
Okay.
I can wait for that.
You sound like a Van Halen song, but we can go there from here. Now, Professor, we talk a lot about immigration nowadays, but a century and a half ago, there was migration of a large population within our country's borders, and that's what we're going to talk about here today, right?
You're right, Lou, and it was really America's first national experiment in foster care. Between the years 1854 and 1929, nearly 250,000 poor and homeless children were rescued from the streets of New York by an entity known as the Children's Aid Society. They were then placed with families in the Midwest and West. About 7,000 of these children ended up in Iowa, spread out among 105 cities and towns in our state. Historians have called it the greatest mass migration of children in the history of the entire planet.
Oh my gosh, how did we get so many kids here in Iowa, of all places?
Well, first of all, Midwest hospitality, right? You had people here who were welcoming them with open arms.
Iowa nice, right, Professor?
I'm sorry?
Iowa nice.
Iowa nice, back before there were hashtags that would say such things. They made their way westward quite literally, though, via trains. And these were quickly dubbed orphan trains. The vision was that the children would be healthier and happier away from big city poverty and neglect. That was true, but here's the downside. Siblings were often separated because most foster families just wanted one child. Some, also sadly, were treated more like servants than members of the family, but on the whole, those who ended up in Iowa really thrived.
And they have been remembered, though, in some very unique ways, correct?
Yeah, a musical was written not long ago to bring to life the stories of these children who persevered despite rather humble beginnings. And the fact that the musical made its Midwestern debut in Fairfield, Iowa back in 2012 was appropriate because the orphan train made its first stop in Fairfield on this date in 1869. That's 151 years ago today.
Wow, how about that? A lot of people don't know the history behind that, but so many people were involved with that. And when you're preparing these Iowa Almanac stories, this is one of the ones that you said you spent a little bit of time on, isn't it?
Yeah, because, again, you simply see a note, and this is how we discovered it. You see the note that says, the first orphan train arrived in Fairfield. Well, what's an orphan train? How is it that it made it to Fairfield? And then you make the connection that it's still being remembered in the present day. And, you know, we talk a lot about how is it that people were born one place and moved here and then really became so productive and such a big part of our state's history. And here's an example, 7,000 showing up in Iowa. And again, this is at a time during the first half century of our state's history. We were brand new.
That's absolutely amazing. Now, if people want to go back and get some more details on what we just got done talking about here, maybe see some photos, where can they go about doing that, Professor?
If you go to iowaalmanac.com, we've got the story there.